Ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, but also SSRC, and of course our ICRC team here. So first of all, I would like to welcome you very warmly to this workshop, which is actually a workshop on humanitarian action and media or journalism. For us, the media has always played a very important role in covering emergencies, violent situations, and other humanitarian crises, as well as the impact of those crises on affected population, who are affected by armed conflict or other situations of violence. What people need in such emergency situations is obviously assistance in terms of healthcare, water, and food or other items. But at the same time, one of the very important things they need is also proper information. And information can really save lives in emergency situations. And people are relying on information, where they can go, where is it safe, what is happening, and so on. So at the same time, media coverage, especially the longer form like reports, in-depth reports, can also really inform the general public, not even only in the country where it happens, but also worldwide. It can also inform stakeholders, policymakers. So in this sense, it can have a very positive impact on humanitarian efforts on the ground. So in this way, it's just an example. I'm sure there are other ways where the media is playing a very important role supporting humanitarian assistance to victims of armed conflict or other situations of violence. As you probably know, or some of you know, the ICRC is a neutral, impartial, and independent humanitarian organization with a mission which is purely to protect and assist people who are affected by armed conflict or violence. As we speak, we are present as ICRC in around 100 different contexts worldwide. And now I jumped a bit. But anyway, and we are here in South Sudan since 40 years already, so well before independence. Then we had our delegation in Khartoum, but sub-delegations were covering also the Southern Sudan area. So even for now, we remain really committed in addressing the humanitarian needs of people affected by conflict and other situations of violence in the country. Often we work in partnership with the SSRC, the South Sudan Red Cross Society. And our main activities, just to mention a few, because we will go afterwards into more detail about it, our concrete activities this year, but also an outlook for next year. So we have, as you know, there are quite a lot of separated families in this country. So we are facilitating actually that these separated persons can get in touch with their families. And as well, in the same regards, there are families who have lost people, I mean relatives who are missing. So we will also try to facilitate to search for their loved ones, or at least to know what happened to their loved ones in the past, so that they can actually find some closure. Then we also work in places of detention. So we are visiting places of detention in South Sudan. And the idea is to secure a humane treatment and also acceptable conditions of detention, where we work also based on international humanitarian law, but also on other law bodies which exist for proper treatment of detainees. We work together with the authorities on that, but we also work together in terms of how you call that, like disseminating IHL and implementing IHL in the laws of the country. We work with authorities, and at the same time, if we see violations against rules, we will either discuss it with the authorities, the weapon bearers, always on a bilateral level. We will not publish any of this. We will actually have confidential bilateral dialogue. Of course, you will also probably know that we are providing affected communities with essential services. Like this is ranging from support in having access to water supply, but also medical care, physical rehabilitation services, and also mental and psychosocial support we give to people affected by trauma, for example, as well as support to restore livelihoods of people who were displaced or strongly affected by conflict. Okay, so now this was just a quick introduction. Now going towards what actually will happen in these next 2 days. So this 2 days workshop is really meant to be a gathering of very senior members of the major media in the country, and to have an exchange between us and you. So for us, your participation is really very critical, and since a lot of information in the world is actually relying on your words. So, and I think, as I mentioned before, you can actually support very much humanitarian action by reporting in a fact-based and good resourced information on humanitarian needs and concerns on the ground which exist for vulnerable populations. So there will be hopefully a lot of discussion and exchange in this room today, because today is really, we are here, and we see it as a big opportunity for us, but also for you, to share your thoughts and experiences in humanitarian related reporting, and also an opportunity to explore ways to support the humanitarian action. So again, and then the second day will be actually on the 12th, right? On the 12th, where you will have the opportunity to go to two of our activities, ICRC activities, and one of the SSRC. So one of the hospitals we support in Juba, and also our physical rehabilitation center, and then as well the SSRC blood bank. So there will be the more exchange part here, and then after that, on the 12th, there will be more field-based, where you can also talk to beneficiaries, talk to vulnerable people directly. So in this sense, thank you very much for SSRC being here, and because they are really an important partner for us here. They implement many projects together with us, and they also have their own projects ongoing. So it is actually part of the greater Red Cross and Red Crescent movement. So this gives also the opportunity to react to flooding and so on, but this would be then more the SSRC, because ICRC is really specialized and focusing mainly on armed conflict. So thank you very much for your presence. Hope the participation will be very varied and also very interactive. And thank you very much. So now I have to officially open the workshop. Thank you.